What the team wants to do to get back to speed. The horse itself is perhaps the best example. Starting in the second and third years, Chinese language contestants in the contest, Castle and Harbor, the team is only 3 years old. The company has been growing its production by 40 feet. The rumors became a huge hit in the coalition, the ultimate dream of a childhood football player. But in the near future, this is a story that is going to happen again. It will be difficult to get rid of. The first is that the country is not a democracy. NBA to the general managers of the teams. The latest selection was released in the United States. The first is the gut to no policy. The program is not only about eliminating the garbage extraction process. The team has expanded to 60 teams. The average rate of change is divided into. The same time, the so-called generation of life was created. The worst teams in the world are the worst fighters. The first is that the country is not a democracy. The government has been trying to get rid of the corruption in the country. The head of the source is also in the head of the source. The coalition is also expected to build 27-87 seaplanes. The NBA Europe face-up officially launched. This means that the NBA market will expand further. The latest election reforms. What is the point of this? The question is whether it can actually eliminate the problem of the 100. The NBA Europe face cover is a game that is not a game of chance. In March of this year, the NBA president has made it clear that he cancelled the game. The first is to solve the problem of the 100. The coalition will tackle the current system. Fundamental reforms are being implemented. The first is that the country is not a democracy. The last few years have been a long time coming. The number of cricket teams in the league is increasing. They are no longer concerned with the defeat of the competition. The first time I saw this was in the early hours of the morning. The election in June. The event is the biggest of its kind in the world. The 26th full-length show was shown by the Minister's Media. After 3 years, the highest level of talent, not only Dabasa. The first is the story of the younger generation. This is a potential election for Nepalese. The following is a list of the most common types of cancer. There are a lot of good players. The team is the first to be able to compete in the Olympics. This is not the best opportunity for strong people. So we are determined. The death toll. The team of the real king joined the 100th contest. The most difficult decision of all is the actual number. Starting last year, the first time they were in the election was in March. The main force is Kassler. The government has also been trying to get millions of fines for the alleged crimes. The first half of the tournament, they spent $3 more on the face of the earth. The first is the Cold War. I thought this was a strategy change. The result was only 3 matches. The team is all. The first time I saw the video was in the video. Finishing the race. The end seems to be in this way. The union wants to change. If you don't give me any more money, I'm not playing. The people of the country are not only hungry but also hungry. After a series of transfers to the media, the game was not completed. Even the most famous battle medals. The race was a big hit in the early stages of the race. The Blue, King, Gray and other teams. The first is the golden age of the game. The first is the repair of the wheels. Young players are allowed to return freely. The first time I was in the race, foreigners claim that 6 horses are impossible. The same goes for the people of the country. The game is a mix of two-way players and two-way players. The game is not a game of chance, and the main players are not playing the game of chance. This is a bit of a silly thing to say. The league is not only facing pressure from fans. The contest was also a huge draw. The first is that the air is not too hot. The competition will restore the economy in the early years. The coalition has been discussed for a long time. Finally, a concrete reform package has been developed. The core framework of the program was divided into 3 parts today. The first is about the distribution of balls. The 3 teams with the worst fighter aircraft will be divided into what are called reducing zones. The first 2 balls were given to each pair, but at least we can guarantee the top 12. The first is to get into the knockout or the replay. The team is not in the lower zone. The first time the team has won the competition, it is the 4th time that the team has won the competition. The first 2 games of the season are played in a single match. The 9th and 10th East Region retreat. The 2-point conversion team will be awarded 2 points. The winners of the 7-8 regatta were awarded a single goal. If you look at the rules themselves, the first is that the people of the country are not going to be able to keep their heads shut. So we should not use this set of rules. The contest is open to all participants and is free to enter. The list is based on the rankings. 3 teams entered the relegation zone. This is a mistake. 6 horses and a blue collar. Each team received 2 balls. The war is better than the deaths of the other. The king? The team is still in the midst of a major upset in the game. The number of employees in the country is higher than the number of employees in the country. What is the meaning of this? Heroes and speedboats. The contest is open to all participants, including the participants of the contestants who are eligible to participate in the contest. The first 2 balls will be automatically awarded. I mean, the number of people who are overweight in the boat and the speedboat. The problem is that we have a lot of people. The 6-horse race is the same as the Blue Ridge 3 parts. The difference in the distribution of the balls. What is the biggest benefit? The 16 national teams of the Postal School competition is full. The first is the race. The team entering the relegation zone. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to leave the country. The team is close to the relegation zone. The team is trying to catch the ball. The first is to avoid the demographic zone. After all, no one wants to. The number of goals drops to more. The list of candidates. The situation is more dependent on cargo. The problem is that the internet is not a good place to live. The second is the restrictions. The rules are clear. Any team. The first is that the government has not been able to move for 2 years or delay it. This is a great opportunity. The NBA has been a huge success. There have been 3 cases in the past. The Rocket is from 8-8-5 years. Election Center and Ola are not deep. The tree of the year 9-2 to 9-3. The report also highlights the importance of the social and economic development of the country. Selected for Gold and Bennett. The 6 were 16 and 17 years old. The first is the Fireflowers. But considering that they were 17 years old, they were 1,000. The deal is from Green Mountain Army, so it's not worth saying. The teams above. The story is about a young boy who is a teenager. The first is the greatest talent ever. The first is the newest in the world. See you in the final. The first is that the water is not enough. But the drama is now. This will never happen again. What is the meaning of this? No team can play for 3 consecutive years. The first 5 in the list of smells. This is also the beginning of our video. The Big Mass. They are taking Chinese classes and Castle. The company is also a major investor in the world. The number of people who are suffering from diabetes is expected to rise by 6% in the next 25 years. The election is still in progress. The first time I saw the video was in the middle of the night. The only thing that can be done is to replace the existing ones. The first time the group had a meeting was in March. Becoming a member of the alliance. One of the most successful teams in the world. This includes the First Thing Live. This is true. From 21 to 24 years, Kiniam is continuously elected. Love for Ozil and Van Lan. 4 players in the top 5. The top talent road team in the year-on-year fight is seen as a talent harvesting machine. The purpose of this reform is, the government has also been trying to prevent some. The team is trying to get a decision on the team's time. The third part. The first is to increase resilience. The union will have a broader disciplinary authority. The government has also been criticizing the government for its corruption. The results of the competition are presented in a number of different ways. The first time I saw a video of the video was in the video. The first is the reforms. The following is a list of the most common causes of death in the United States. The first time I saw a man in the street, I was in the middle of a fight. The team is not as good as it is now. The first is the battle of the sexes. The rules for the distribution of lottery balls are relatively new. This is especially interesting in setting. The game will be played in a very small amount of time, and the players will lose the game intentionally. The election is a huge challenge for the people of the country. The contest is divided into winning and losing matches. The report also highlights the importance of the project. The outside world has different voices. Some fans, for example, think, this is the process of communication. After all, the day after the election started, the NBA is a part of the NBA. The league needs to leave the teams that lost. The video was posted on Facebook. The EU is a global leader in the fight against terrorism. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules. It is essentially a strategy to rebuild the team. The game is a bit of a mess. The newly formed group, the White Ball Group, has been a huge success. The only thing that can be done is to get the benefits of the elected, so if the program is implemented successfully, the election will be a major reform of the electoral system. The EU is also expected to change the competitive ecosystem of the alliance. But is it going to be overly oppressive? The team is stronger. Weakness in the team. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. We're going to talk about another hot change. The NBA European Championship. In fact, over the years, the league has been planning to publish a version of the series. The European Union is expanding. The first is the process of digesting the food, the illegal headquarters of the government. According to sources, the number of people who have been killed in the conflict is now over 20. The top decision makers in Europe. The country has submitted an application for membership. The first few steps of the preliminary plan. The race was closed for 2 or 7 years. The first is from the point of view of operations. The NBA European League is not difficult to work together to mutual benefit. The NBA can help with the European League. The first is the emotional system. The Baseball Foundation. The European market is rapidly expanding. The European team. The game is a free-to-play game, and the game is free to play. The following is a list of the most common types of. This is a very important issue. The impact of Blue Earth on the world. The first is the Ball of the Year competition. The game is also a cross-border event for football giants. This is a diverse background. The same thing that Digest wants to see. The second, players flow. The first is the cooperation. In recent years, the flag is a red flag. Subtitles are removed. The European stars like the Eastern flag are on the horizon. The newly formed MWP is also known as the MWP. This is enough to prove. The European blue ball system will build talent. They are not the only ones. The players on the scatter machine are at NBA level. More than 80 people have died. The brain is a living neuron. The second best player in Afghanistan. The NBA is also making rapid progress in the system. The team is the leader of the team. The players are there. The NBA and the European League are also connected. The first is the foreign. The European Championships are not to be missed, not to mention the outdoor garden. Almost all of them are from the NBA. The official website of the website. The new model of the series has not yet been announced. The first is the self-operated. The Union of Professionals. I'm not sure. The number of teams in the league is the same as the league. The European team will accept the rules of the NBA. How to get started with the new rules. This is a great opportunity for you. What is the meaning of this? How to connect players' contracts. How to coordinate the race. How to distribute the benefits. The problem is that the world is not a country. The company is generally the original intent of the NBA Europa League. It's definitely good. The European Union has a very strong tactical skills. The NBA's physical talent. How the spark will come in. This is going to be a very interesting picture. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. China's focus on Asia. We are waiting. The NBA has been a huge success in the past few years, and it has been a huge success in the past. I'm not sure what the answer is. Don't go to the polling station. We are also on the other channel. See you next time.